Celestial blessings, this is Helen Demetriou, and today I'm going to put two subjects together because they're very related. That is spiritual education and painful spiritual awakenings. Now, this may not apply to everybody, and it may not indicate that to be a very spiritual person or enlightened person, you will have had to go through a painful spiritual awakening. But I want to talk about those, and I know that there are many of you, I know that I have many listeners that have had painful spiritual awakenings. Now, this is also in relation to those who ask me, am I an indigo? And this is what I'm going to explain to you today, that not everybody that has spiritual awakenings that are painful is an indigo, and many of you are. And people ask me, well, why did I have this painful spiritual awakening? Those of us that are here that are very enlightened beings, and they're probably enlightened from a young age, are those who have had basically a difficult life. Like myself, because I always use myself as an example. Growing up, I had not a very nice childhood. Those of you that watch my videos from the beginning know that I mention this a lot, that I didn't have a happy childhood, and it was very painful, and I was bullied, and I just didn't have a happy home life. You know, I lived in fear a lot of the time, and many times I would ask, why me? You know, why do I have to have this horrible existence? Why do I have to have these horrible experiences in my life? And I remember asking from a young child, why me? Why do I have to live this life? Why do I have to live in constant fear and pain and self doubt and ridiculing myself? I hated myself. I just hated everything. I hated my life. I wanted to die many times. And he says, when I got older, that I began to connect more and more with the gods, with the angels, the ascended masters, the saints, and you know the rest. That they began teaching me that many of us that come here that have had painful spiritual awakenings, painful childhood experiences in our lives, are those of us that have come here to teach something important. We've come here because we need the enlightenment, and this is one of the ways which we can gain that enlightenment that we need. I know this may sound ridiculous to many of you, and many of you may not even accept it, but those who've had a terrible past are usually the ones that have got the most important roles on earth. I'm not saying that everybody's not important. I'm just saying that we've been given the heavier load, rather than others that have come here. I mean, they can be spiritual teachers. I'm not saying that everybody, you know, that you're not enlightened if you haven't had a bad past or a bad childhood or experiences. I'm just saying that we had to be resilient, to build those strong shoulders, to carry the load and the responsibility of what we've come here to do. And regarding spiritual education, look, I'm somebody that knows that in order to evolve spiritually, in order to be able to cope, being a human, and any soul being a human, is not easy. And that's why many suffer from depression or problems, because it's difficult being a soul, incarnating as a human being and living on this earth with the role that we have to play. And I know that in order to cope with this, and in order to be the best that we can be and to fulfill our mission, we need to educate ourselves spiritually. And this is why I have directly channeled activations, guided meditations and alignments for Esophoria Mystery School. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because, one, it's part of my life mission. Two, you'll find that the prices, they're actually ridiculously cheap because I want them to be affordable for everybody. And three, because I was not seeing the right kind of activations and spiritual education out there. I was seeing too much of this of talk that not everybody's going to understand. So I wanted to teach them in a language that people understand and to make their lives easier. So basically, because I've been through this and I'm still going through it, I know what people need. I know what to offer people to help them with their spiritual education, with their ascension and their advancement. And obviously there's going to be more and more and more that I'm going to be adding all the time. But because I know what we need here, look, it's bad enough, okay, the whole involution process of us descending to earth, falling to earth, and having to incarnate into matter is a traumatic experience in itself. And I'll explain to you briefly involution. Involution, and I'll use visual perspectives. Imagine a lightning bolt coming down from heaven deep into the earth, and through this lightning bolt is the seed, is your soul. From there, from the underworld, you have to ascend to earth, and you have to incarnate into matter. And your job, one of your jobs, is to continue ascending up through the tree of life. And you have to do this by learning different lessons and going to the next level. It's even like a video game that you have to pass each level to get to the next level, to get to a higher level. And that's basically it. That is involution, and that is incarnation. And I know that it's difficult because sometimes we're confused. I didn't have anybody to say to me, look, this is what you have to do. I wish I did have somebody. I had to learn a lot on my own. And because I know what people need, I know that I trust in the divine beings, the light beings, the gods, the goddesses, ascended masters, to give to me the material that is needed for humanity, for those who are dedicated to their spiritual education. And as you go through this path in your life and you do spiritually educate yourself with whatever way you choose, it could be any way, not just my activations, you begin to understand, if I didn't go through this, I wouldn't be compassionate. If I didn't go through this, I wouldn't understand this person's pain. If I didn't go through what I went through, I wouldn't have this wisdom. And I can look back and see myself, how I've grown and what I've become and what I will become, because I can create. I can be that person, that being that I want to be. And it's all about your evolution here on earth. And when we understand at the end of it that happiness doesn't always have to be a permanent thing, then we understand that misery doesn't always last. It's not always a permanent thing. Okay? So it's all to do with ego. And we need the ego to help us cope through those situations of when we're in a situation where we just feel that I've had enough, I can't do this anymore, I'm tired of life, why me? Why am I going through this? What have I done to deserve this hell? This is hell, not the Christian hell. Earth is hell. But it's not. It's just a hard lesson that you've got to go through, and you will get through it. There is nothing to say that you won't get through it, because you have so many tools that you were born with that you can use to help you move on, to learn your lesson and to recover from the last experience. I'm not saying that you're going to constantly have bad experiences. I'm saying that the more you learn and the more experiences you get done with and the lessons you get finished, then the future is not going to, you're not going to have so many catastrophes. So those of us that were born in a difficult environment or had a very painful childhood have got most of our life lessons out of the way, and we've healed from a lot of them, so that the future is not so littered with bad experiences. But in order to cope with that, we need to focus on our spiritual education. One, because it helps us to focus on something else other than the misery that we're going through. I mean, it's our soul saying, look, I'm not going to take this anymore. And I know that I'm here for a high purpose, and I know that I have to educate myself to get myself out of this way of thinking so that I don't feel the victim, because you have to stop feeling like the victim. This is really important, because when you feel like the victim, you attract things to you. But if you have those tools, you know that you're no longer the victim. You're a doctor, you're a physician, you are a healer of yourself, and you think, well, yeah, okay, what do I need to do? Okay, I do this, I do that, and I can heal myself. So basically what I teach in Esophoria is what I'm teaching in my videos, and I'm also teaching everything that I know. Okay, and this is just what I know now, because thank the gods I never stopped learning, because if I didn't have anything else to learn, I wouldn't know what to do. I would just go more insane than I already am. So basically, I'm teaching you from somebody that has come from your background, that I know what you're going through and what you've been through, and I'm still going through it myself. I know what you're going through. So for somebody who knows what you're going through, I know what you need, and I know what to give you. It may not be what other people teach, and it may not be everything that you need, but it is something that you need. And I'm teaching you what I've learned on my path. And when people say to me, Helen, you're so wise, you're so enlightened, it's because I've had such a horrible experience here growing up. And it is because I don't allow just to lie there and let life kick me in the face. And I want to help you. I want to, in my heart, I want to say, look, this is how I can help you. My videos and all the things that I channel on Esophoria, it's esophoria.org, just in case you don't know. And I want to be able to help you, because I'm here to help. If I don't help, I can't breathe. Okay? But then people say to me, and I have to address this also, this will be that other practitioners will resonate with me that do this for a living. They say to me, you know, if you're here to bring this help, why are you charging? Well, you know, I need to eat, you know, I need to feed my kids, my time away from all my other work. I have to have something to live. I mean, you know, we're living in 2012. I can't just, you know, be like Jesus and go knocking on door to door and wait for people to feed me. You know, I have to have something in order so that I can live and I can continue teaching. And honestly, most of the things are like $17 or $21 or $27. I mean, $17 seriously is nothing. Okay, so for those people that say this to me, I'm like, are you serious? You spend more money on a CD, right, that's not going to help your spiritual education, it's not going to help you evolve, then you're complaining about this. And I'm like disgusted, and I'm offended, because I'm like, God, man, I mean, I'm sorry, okay, it's just something I've got with the people that are doing this, saying these things. Not everybody, but the idiots. Yeah, I have to say idiots, sorry, I have to. So, look, you're not alone, okay? We're all going through the same, without swearing, brown stuff that you are and that you've been through, and we know, and we're all connected, you know. we sympathise with you, sympathise with us as well. You know, just because I'm a teacher, or just because you see these teachers and they may be, oh, hello, love and light, everything's happy and joy, joy, joy. Seriously, they've probably been crying the night before. Don't think that people, this covering that they put, that they're all okay. I'm telling you, it is people like us that go through the biggest hell. That's why we can teach what we do, because we've been through hell and we're going through hell, or we're past hell and we're teaching about through our experiences. So I've rambled on a lot. I love you. I'm here to serve you. That is why I've come here. One of the reasons I'm here to serve you. Okay, and to those that are here in service to others, which all of you are, know that just by being in service to others doesn't mean that you allow anyone to walk all over you or treat you like garbage. Okay? You always stand up for yourself. Be free to love and forgive, but don't allow anyone to hurt you just because they take your sweetness and your lovingness and your kindness as a weakness. Your kindness and your love is your power and your strength. And I want you to know I love you and I respect your support, and there's going to be more videos coming regarding emails that I've been receiving. So I love you. Bye bye.